It's a real schus I have, and I very much appreciate having this opportunity. So, Shmuess for joining us. Hope we'll have a great time together, Mir Hashem. Right, Pasal? Okay? And all those, I don't mention their name, I didn't mention their name before, so I don't know who you are, your telephone numbers, but see a couple more joined that I still didn't see before. I'm Shlomo, Shmuel Chaim, Eshkach, Yechiel Stebetsky, an alumnus of ours is here with us, Ari Solomon, Shmuess, all of you who join us. Okay, Rabosai, let's go. So I hope you got the sheet, right? You have the Marmakomo sheet. Let's, right, the Pasuk talks about this week's Parsha, the halachas of the mitzvah of Nazir. Pasuk Beis, Dabra Bnei Yisrael, Yamart Aleim, Isha Isha, Kiyafi Rindor Neder Nazir. When a person pronounces, verbalizes to make a Neder Nazir, Lahazir Hashem, to become Nazir to Hashem. Right, so let's go first to Even Ezra, if you don't mind. Skip the Rashi first. We'll get back to the Rashi. The Even Ezra says something very interesting. Ki Yafli. What does Yafli mean? Yafrish. Right? He'll spell it out. He'll verbalize. I think it means, right? Or Yaseh Dover Pella. He'll do it a wonderful, like an unbelievable thing. It's a Pella. It's a Chiddush Nifla. Right? That's Nifla Pella. It's a Chiddush he's doing. A wondrous thing he's doing. Kirova Olam Holchem Achar Tavasam. He goes, look, most of the world, you look around, most of the world, they go after the taiva, the bali taiva. They run after the taivas. There's a lack of control, a lack of ability to control, and they're running after the taivas. And this guy he makes himself into a nazir. Now, also, let's just analyze. Let's look at the Medrash now for a second. Look at the Medrash. The Medrash tells us, I think in the Medrash you will see that the halachas of a nazir is because of how special he is. But let's read the Medrash together on both sides. Yud Aleph at the next piece over Yud Aleph. Kol Yimei Nidra, Kol Yimei Haziru Hashem. Right, that's Yud Aleph. Borei Shekol Mi Shemekadosh As Asmo Melamata. Anybody who's mekadosh himself down here on this world, mekadosh Osmo Mala. So they think of him the mekadosh, the mekadosh, and they make him holy, they sanctify him up there, Kodesh Baruch Hu, in the heavens. Right? They see him as a kadosh. He's mamish. They turn him into they label him a kadosh, I guess. How is that? What does that have to do with us over here? Because this person was mazer, right, made a neder, and made a neder nazir to deprive himself of wine. But knowing tsar ba'asmo, and he'll have some tsar. He shouldn't take a haircut. Never, because so much tsar, right? I mean, I don't know. Nowadays, I think it's a pleasure not to take a haircut, right? But okay, that's not the point. Right? This guy, he's no tsar. He has to grow his hair long. He looks terrible. He has more than a zero, more than a one. I don't know what they call it, right? But he let his hair grow, right, for 30 days. I'm not talking for a month or 2 or 3. I don't know. It seemed in those days, 30 days of growth was like, whoa, terrible. Okay, whatever. That's tsar. Right, so he's not no tsar ba'asmo. He's not going to take a shave. They can take a haircut rather. He's doing it because he wants to keep himself away, protect himself from doing affairs. Amar Kodesh Baruch Hu, Harehu Chosh Lefanei Kohen Gadol. He's like Kohen Gadol. This guy. Look, he mamish with mekadosh osmo mala. He's like a Kohen Gadol. Ma Kohen asur l'tamei, just like a Kohen's asur to be b'tamei. L'chal meisim. Af nazar asur l'tamei kal meisim. If you're wondering why Kodesh Baruch Hu picked this halacha. Why should a nazir be usher to matami to mason? You know why? Hashem says, the Medrash says, because in a Kodesh Baruch Hu's eyes, he's a kadosh, and a kadosh, right? It's like a Kohen Gadol. Right? Kohen Gadol, someone represents kedusha, who is a kadosh, who's called, is labeled a kadosh, represents kedusha. He has to stay away from tummy. He can't matami himself. It's inappropriate. That doesn't fit. It doesn't jive for a kadosh to become tummy. Those are all same thing, right? Same thing. Aaron, right? So basically, the halachas of some of the halachas, right, of Hilchas Nazir, Hilchas Tumah V'Tara, is because he's considered kadosh. He was labeled a kadosh. Why? Because he was a kadosh nomata. Right? It was mekadosh himself down below, so the Torah sees him as a kadosh. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees him as a kadosh, and mainly he has certain halachas that are given over to him compared to a Kohen Gadol. So also think about it. So we're not talking about a snapshot. It's not even a guy went through 30 days he suffered for 30 days, that he didn't drink wine for 30 days, and he wasn't Megach Roshel, Nebuch, poor guy, 30 days. Now this time right at the beginning, from day one, as Ebenezer was saying, once he was mafli, once he was yafrish, and he said, I'm going to become a nazir, and he intends, obviously, with the seriousness and with a commitment, not just a flimsy little speech, but he intends with all the sincerity, commitment to become a nazir. So Hashem, this guy's a kadosh. He's a holy man. We have to give him halachas that apply, that pertain to someone who's a kadosh. Right? You can't become tamei because of the kadosh. Not shot after 30 days to become a kadosh. Now he rose to the level. We have 49 days Kabbalah HaTorah. So after 49th day, we're on the highest level. No. Over here, right in the beginning, where the person makes the commitment, right, to go ahead and be a nazir, not to have wine, be porish from gashmias, be porish from taking a haircut and beautifying himself and all that. He's called a kadosh. He's called a kadosh. They're both like, what's the big deal? Like, what did he do? What did he do? He just verbalized, made a commitment. There's tons of people out there who make commitments to lose some weight. They're very sincere about it. They're going to lose weight. They're going to go ahead and join Alcoholics Anonymous to stop from their involvement in drinking. But that's all the guy did. The guy didn't pass the test yet, right? He's still 30 days away from it. But he's called the Kadosh the first day because, as Evan Ezra says, it's a pella. He did a pella-digga thing. He committed ishki yafi and they're to make that commitment to abstain and to want to perfect yourself more, to abstain from these worldly enticements. Right? He becomes a kadosh. He's very chashuv. Why? Evan Ezra says why. Kirova olam hochan achat havasim. Look at the belt. I'll prove it to you. Says Evan Ezra. Right? Look at the whole world out there. They're a bunch of behemoths, right? They're a bunch of Bali Taiva. They run after their Taiva. Obviously, it's not so easy, right? How come there aren't less people running after the Taivas? How come the majority of the world out there is failing, so to speak, and going after the Taivas, right? I assume it's not because the hashkafa, they're lacking hashkafa. People realize it's not a good thing. It's a davar sichi, I guess. Mustam, that's what he means, right? Davar sichi. People that have pure seichel, not run after the Taiva, they would be porish from all. They wouldn't run after the Taivas. They would do what's proper, al pi halacha, al pi hashkafa, al pi seichel anushi, right? These are not chukim, hilchas harayas and hilchas taivas, right? But they run after their taivas because they're taivas, because they can't control themselves. So this guy's mamish a pella. It's a wonder, how can he make such a commitment? He knows he's if he's Polish, he's committing to stay away from physical things, and it's only we're talking about wine and haircutting. That's what it is over here. Right, that's what he's accepting by himself. It sounds like, That is because that's the koch of taiva both. We're not talking about taiva of arayas per se. He just proves it from the fact since most people go up to taiva, so you see that how powerful taiva is. So Melos a pella. What a guy does is says, "Listen, I'm going to stay away. I love wine. Wine is a great thing, and I love this to cut my hair a little handsome, without the grubby hair. No, I want to be hippie. I want to have long hair. I want to have short, refined, nicely combed and groomed hair, right?" And he says that. He says, "I'm not going to be doing that." This guy's unbelievable. I think Pshat is in the Evan Ezra Pshat is because, like he says, because the taiva is very powerful to make that commitment, to make that sincere, honest, and real commitment. I'm not going to go ahead and be involved in this for 30 days. Our both side is hard, and I think we probably all experienced it. Maybe not Gabi Hilgos Nazir, but we can relate to this. But it's just important to recognize our both how chashuv, how powerful, not chashuv, that's the wrong word, how powerful the taivas are. And most of the Welt cannot control them. It's an unbelievable thing. And they can't even go ahead and make the sincere commitments. Of course, you can make commitment, I'll do this, I'll make my New Year's resolution. It doesn't mean anything, because they don't really mean it. But if a guy makes a sincere commitment to Al Pi Halacha, so to speak, and from Me'um Kedarev, to do that, Rabbi Osa, requires tremendous, it's a palace. So wonder, how does a guy do this? Because we cannot underestimate the power of a person's taiva, the drive, the desire for physical pleasures, is very strong, and therefore, when a person does this, he's called a kadosh right from the beginning. When he makes that sincere commitment, he's called a kadosh, and we give him certain other halachas of tumah tameisim. He can't do that. Hashem sees him as what he is. That's right. Right? Hashem sees him as what he is. He's a person who's going ahead and controlling his taivas, which is unbelievable. That's number one of our. Number one, both says to recognize the power of taiva. And we have to be careful. We can't assume we're above it all. We can't assume we're halfway above it all. Even to make this commitment is hard. It's hard to make these commitments. And if you do, you're a kadosh. Number one on both sides. Number two, let's read the Rashi. Let's go back to the Rashi, which we skipped in terms of order of the page. Ishkiyafli, pasuk based in the Rashi. Yafresh, right? You separate yourself. Or you either separate, I don't know if you separate or verbalize. Laman is Parshas Nazir, the Parshas Sota. So Rashi asked the famous kasha, what's the juxtaposition? What's the order over here? There's an order over here. There's a pasuk talks about Hilchas Sota. Then we get Hilchas Parshas Nazir. Why are they both put together? Any reasons? Not just by Hashem flipped the coin. Omer to tell you, Shekal Roa Sota Bikul Kula. Whoever goes ahead and sees a Sota in her kilkul, in her degradation, Yazra Asvam and Hayayin. Shumevu they niyuf. Because wine brings a person who they niyuf. So maybe someone sees him, sees a Sota, it sounds like he's saying, I think the Parshas, the different Shatim, I think the Parshas Pshat seems to be, the basic Pshat is that if you see a Sota Bikul Kula, so like you're more prone, so to speak. You're at risk. You're a little more at risk. Therefore, be more careful. Wine is nothing to get involved in. Wine is nothing to get involved in drink. If you're someone who's at risk, if someone's potential borderline diabetic, you stay away from certain sugary foods, right? If you're a person who's borderline bal taiva or able to be nichshel in taiva, you have to be careful. You stay away from wine because wine is something which brings the niyuf. So both sides, think about it both sides. Parshas Pshat, I would have said, right? Normally speaking, what happened? This guy was Roa Sota Bikul Kula, right? He saw the Sota. He might have been to Bezin, and in the audience, in the gallery, in the what do they call it? The gallery, right? The gallery, the peanut gallery, or the gallery that people sit and watch what's going on in Bezdin, and they see this lady come in. She's accused of being a Sota. They give her the water to drink. She's degraded. She walked around to tie her out. I mean, it's a disgrace. Uncover her hair. They disgrace her. They degrade her, mavaza her, all in the hope of trying to get her to go ahead and admit. And potentially they're there to kill her potentially if she's found to be guilty. So she dies on the spot with the mayim hamorim, with the water. So they give her to drink. So he saw this. He saw that this lady was accused of potentially, she was nechshad, not accused, nechshad. That maybe she was nechshad, and when she's nechshad for that, so she can be killed. Look how they treat her in such a degrading way because of what she did and what she's potentially chayiv to do when she's potentially chayiv misa. So I was here about it. Just the opposite. When I finish that, it's like a Musar B'Spaigo Seder. You go in and, wow, I better not do anything terrible like that. If I do that, they can kill me and they'll drag me through the mud and who knows what they'll do to me. And it's a frightening experience. I would say it's a Musar B'Spaigo Seder, just the opposite. So what do you mean? If you see Robus, so cool. If I care, I would say if someone did not see it, he's more at risk because he didn't see it. He doesn't know how bad it is. This guy saw firsthand their potential Machai for Misa. That she could have, exploded, so to speak, right? She could have drank the waters and died on the spot. But okay, she didn't. She was innocent, obviously. She didn't. She didn't. But what's Pshat? So why is this lady at risk more? Why is this person at risk? The Pshat is on both sides, similar to what we find by Amalek, right? The famous Kash by Amalek. The Rashi over there says, I think we might have talked about it last year. I don't recall. Famous Rashi that says that what was the problem with Amalek was he was the first to jump in. It's like the hot water. Right? Jumped into the hot water, and therefore he cooled it off. People therefore were able to go in afterwards. So Amalek also he was the first after Mitzrayim to attack Klal Yisrael, and therefore potentially subject us to other people's attacking us. And the Kash is the same thing, just the opposite of both. Right? What do you mean? But you saw that as powerful as he was, Klal Yisrael overcame. They vanquished them. They won. They were the victors. So what do you mean? So I'm going to go ahead and other people go ahead and other nations will go ahead and be prone and be enticed to attack. Let's attack. What do you mean? We'll be wiped out like Amalek was. Amalek was very powerful, and they were the first to get killed. Shajra both said because once something is done, once you break the ice, right? Once Amalek broke the ice and people saw that, I never would have dreamed to start up with Klal Yisrael. They're so powerful. But Amalek started up. Okay, they got killed, but that you pushed it aside. That's a person's Sahara. That's a person's skewed vision, is Negias. I don't want to think about that. But once once you saw it was doable, once it was done, and such a thing exists, as bad as the consequences are, it has an effect upon a person. So this person over here sees the something cooler. He sees that, maybe she did something terrible. Oh, really? I never would have thought of such an idea. It's abhorrent. It's disgusting. It's terrible. No. Listen, it's done. Once you hear that people do it, then it's potentially that it was a hobby that the person did it. That could be he did it. She didn't do it yet, right? We're not talking about a person who was killed necessarily. We're talking about a person who went through the kilkul, went through degradation, went through the water, the drinking of the water, and was accused of it. Just hearing and seeing that someone, potentially did such a terrible action, that lowers my guard, it lowers my resistance, and enables me potentially to have havminus to do this. That person has to take steps to counteract that. He has to take steps to protect himself, so that he shouldn't have to show him. He's now at risk. He's a person at risk for being more involved and more indulged in the worst averos, the worst the niyuf. It's maybe like niyuf, wine. So be careful. Don't drink wine, because beforehand you would have drank wine. You make kiddush, fine, but now you drank a little more, so fine. You would never think of doing something so terrible. But now once he saw it's doable, it's possible. It's like, this is the koach we have to recognize, the koach of our environment on both sides. We see things, we hear things. Like lahavdo, it's not even. I'm just thinking about now because it's the yoma. The way people respond. To and they don't just go ahead and rally, but riot. You go crazy. It's a good example. We want to show how terrible it was. We're going to riot and do that. That becomes, I'm sure, it's pashto both. It becomes a more acceptable response, right? The first time, who knows, 40, 50 years ago they did this. Wow, people are rioting. What are you rioting for? So they can't respond like that. But that's the norm now. That becomes the norm, right? And if we see our both, we hear it. Yeah, why not? The guy, I did this, someone did something wrong. I don't like Rabbi Nyman made up a rule. He did something not nice. I got to go and smash the yeshiva's windows. Where is such a crazy thing? Yeah, but someone did it one time, and someone had a hobby, and someone was accused of it. That becomes more doable. And the Goyim do it. That's how you do. That's how you respond. That's on the side of both sides. But everything on both sides. I was telling the guys in my shul yesterday. I think it was yesterday. People go ahead. There's so many foreign hashkafas that we're exposed to in the world at large. Whether it's morality hashkafas, arayas hashkafas, abortion hashkafas, inappropriate lifestyle hashkafas. All this stuff we're bombarded with, and there's no question on both sides. So Chazal, that's what the Rashi is telling us, that someone who lives now versus 50 years ago, right? Someone who lived 50 years ago is much more protected. From the effect and the absorption and the thinking, the way the Goyim did, and of course certain things are terrible. How could you even think of certain deviant lifestyles or whatever, or abortion or whatever? You can't think about it. But now, it's not too crazy. Maybe it's a havmin or something. There's so many different examples of both that were exposed in the Goyish Welt, which are not necessarily das Torah. Moshe prided himself with the fact that he says it. I think I mentioned. He says it's one of his tshuvas that. He trusts himself so much because all the ideas, all the seichel, all the knowledge he has, all the perspectives and the values he has is not from any secular books, all from Torah. So this is das Torah. But if a person is exposed to seeing and hearing things in the Goyish Welt or in anything, and the Jewish Welt also, the Jewish Welt, the secular, even the Frum Welt, certain things are not appropriate, maybe too much gashmias or too much whatever, focus on different things, on dress, on housing, on cars, whatever it might be. It has an effect on both. So we have to be careful and try as much as we can to chazer ibra, to review it, to always mechazik ourselves. This not necessarily, is it the derech HaTorah, is it proper, is it das Torah, is it not? We don't believe in that. That's mechazik myself. These things are very dangerous on both sides. Number one is the type is very powerful, especially when it comes to type of the kinyan both, the tarayis and other things, and involvement in gashmias, right? The type is very powerful, and when you combine it with the fact that the Welt at large shows us examples of what a person can do, so he has bigger havminas now, and he's about taiva. He can't rove olam. They go after the taiva. It's hard to control. You can't make commitments even. And the third thing I both say is the last thing on the bottom of the page, in terms of some hadrach, in terms of chizuk. So what do we do? What do we do, Rabbi? Rabbi Nyman's getting me all depressed. The time a big Baal Taiva tells me, and everything I look outside, everything I hear in the world is going to kill my das Torah. So what do I do? It's terrible. Well, there's a lot of eights, a lot of things that the Machazik ourselves, but the one focus is this beautiful Rashi over here. The pasuk talks about what kind of carbon the sota has to bring. Because he brings a baby oishas ishta, a kohen, maybe it's carbon or a serious way for kemach zorim, and certain things you don't put there. Certain things that might normally be there on this carbon mincha, on this carbon. So what do? So normally you would bring shemen. No shemen. You don't bring any shemen. But we take no lavona. Ki minchas kanos. It's a mincha of kanos of jealousy. Minchas ikar, minchas kiras. We don't do it. Says Rashi. What's pshat? Why not? What is it? Who cares about lavona? Says Rashi. Shoy mahos nekros lavona. Because lavona represents is a term that's connected to the emos. Shnemer, they'll give us halavona, shirim. So somehow that I don't know how. Don't tell me. I'm not sure why. Whatever. That's a word thing. But they're depicted as being lavona. They're called lavona, the emos, right? Sarah and Rivka and Rachel, Leah, the four emos. They're called lavona. But this lady, this sota, pirush b'darchehen, she was porish from their ways. And therefore, you can't put lavona there. How can you put lavona? Lavona represents the most. You can't put the lavona there. Pirush b'darchehen. So then the Rosh Yeshiva both asked, well, what's this? She's pirush b'darchehen. What shaykhs? I mean, tell her you're talking about a sota. Remember, obviously, even she was innocent. She wasn't acting 100% properly. She was over in Kina Vestira, right? They warned her, and she was soser. She went to a hiding, closed off place with this man. Therefore, that aroused suspicion. Right, the husbands don't suspect their holy wives of inappropriate behavior, but this lady acted in a way which causes suspicion. So she was potentially a sota. Either she was a sota or she was potentially a sota. So she was pirsha. You can tell her, and you have shy. You can tell her, well, we're not going to put lavon in your cup, because you're not like the emos. They're on opposite extremes. I mean, if anything, I would say no one's like the emos. Who's like the emos? So let's say if a regular kosher, Eishish, a wonderful lady. There's no shaykhs emos. She's not like the emos either. The emos are up here, regular people over here. This lady's down here. So this lady, she's porish b'darchehen. Okay, everyone's always on the level. So she's farther away. So what's the point? You can't put lavona there because she's porish b'darchehen, and that's what you tell her. You you're trying to get the message across. No, we're not putting lavona on. You know why? Because you're porish b'darchehen. Well, and she's going to respond to that. It has shaykhs to her. She's so far. You weren't. You didn't have the sneas of Rachel Imenu. She was able to give up and signs whatever all the mysterious nefesh she had for sneas and everything else, and Sarah the way she dressed, and she was behind the scenes, and she was behind the tent over there when she was a big sanua, right? The Malachim showed the Avram what a big sanua his wife was. Oh, lady, you're not like her. You're nuts. What am I? A prune of old-fashioned Puritan, from the colonial days. There's no shaykhs for that. You want to tell her she's a Prushta lady, that she shouldn't do such terrible things, but she shouldn't design is one thing. What does it do with Tarchein? She's Pirush B'Tarchein. So Rishiva's pshat was because Pirush B'Tarchein means that her focus is not there. Not that she wasn't acting like them. Baruch Hashem, Kal Yisrael acts like they're driven, their goal, their perspective of where am I headed in life, what do I want to accomplish, what do I want to do. I want to become? I want to become like Sarah Imenu. I want to become like Rivka. I want to become like Rachel. That's my goal. I want to become Moshe Feinstein. I want to become a God Ador. I want to become, that's my role model. So as long as we have that focus and that eyesight set on what we're trying to do and we have the proper role models, the proper ultimate goals, even if we might know maybe we can't reach them, we can't be Avram, being a Moshe Rabbeinu, I don't know, but I would love to, as close as I can to be them. That's I want to become a Moshe Rabbeinu. I would love to be Moshe Rabbeinu. I would love to be a Rachel Imenu. I would love to be any of these Emos or Avos. When you're there, that's a whole different level of both. So you know what happened with this lady? The fact that she went ahead. You know what caused this? What I see the results. Right? She was a sota. She acted in an appropriate way, and she was potential as mezana. This lady who is someone who lost her focus. If you keep your focus straight on both sides, you don't become a sota. Right? If you're about taiva and you're a normal human being, and you got stuck with this guy, you start falling in love with the guy, who knows what, both say it doesn't happen. This lady must have lost her. Right? How do we know? Who said she's Pirsha? Pirsha from the Achayan, she was Polish from focusing on it, from their ways. It wasn't in her eyesight. It wasn't in her long-term, goals in life to be like Rachel. That's why she's a sota. So it's important on both sides. So one of the antidotes, what can give us chizuk is always mechazik yourself and know, what do I want to become? Who are my role models? Is the Hollywood glamour stars that I want to become like them, or the actors, or the sports people, or the rock stars, or the tycoon, the big wealthy guy down the block? Is, hey, my God, I want to become like him. I want to become a billionaire. I want to become like Bill Gates. What do you want? What do you become like? Bill Gates or like Moshe Feinstein? Well, of course, I want to be a tzaddik, but I want to be like Bill Gates, or at least a tenth of a Bill Gates, right? We have to strive on both sides to chazik ourselves and keep in mind, what is my goal? What is my goal? What am I shooting for? I'm shooting for it to be a Moshe Rabbeinu. I'm shooting to become a Moshe Feinstein. I'm shooting to become a Rabbi Yosef. I'm shooting to become a tzaddik, a big, whatever. Someone is Rosh of Ruba Shaku and Avodas Hashem. That's what I want to become. And that on both sides is a very strong protective force. So, and that's what this lady was missing. You can't put Levona on her. You can't put Levona on her carbon, because what shaykh does she have? She has no shaykhs to becoming, to yearning, to striving to become a Rivki Meno. She has no shaykhs to that. Look, she's a sota. Sota had no shaykhs, obviously. If she would have had shaykhs, she would have held herself back. She wouldn't have done this. That picture, that goal, that eternalized, goal would have made a difference in her life. But she's not like that, so you can't do it. The Rishiva added, which I'm not sure I understand why it's so muchel. The Rishiva added not just that, but Kiddush number 2. I saw my notes. Okay, Kiddush number 2 was that it sounds like Pasha Pshat Rishiva assuming that we're trying, like I mentioned before, we're trying to give the message to her that you're not like Sari Meno, you're not like the most. That's what not just that she can't have it because she's not like it. We're trying to tell her, teach her a lesson, give her a hashkafa lesson. What went wrong over here? Because you're not like the most. So the Kiddush was, but she has shaykhs hearing such beautiful music. She's the lowest of the low. She went to do something potentially terrible, catastrophic, and the lowest of all moral people around. No values, nothing. But she can appreciate. You can tell her, listen, you're not like, you should become like the most. She laughs it off potentially, I would think. And she probably will laugh it off, but it has an effect potentially. It could make a dent in her psyche. It can make her feel a little, let me change myself. These are wonderful emotions. So even the most immoral, person can appreciate potentially that it's nice to be like the emotion. So let me try to turn myself around. Let me try to focus and become a fine person, refined person, a sanudika person, someone who not so involved in trying to hang around the men folk, but it could help even Gabi them. It's not just to a tzaddik or to a person up there, very from holy. Oh, let's try to become like the most. No. This lady, you tell her you're not like the most. What's with you? How can you have sunk so low? How can you have not fulfilled your potential and not striven to fulfill and to follow in the footsteps of Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah? That's our both sides. So we have to go ahead and recognize the koach hataiva. We have to recognize the power of the environment, how things affect us, and we have to go ahead and know that one methodology is this: to go ahead and try to keep the focus. We have to try to keep ourselves striving, for super heights, and not let go, and not lose our vision in terms of what I want to become. Who is my real role model? Like I say, is it the Bill Gates or is it Moshe Feinstein? And it's not a simple answer. It's not a simple question, not a simple answer. Of course I want to become Moshe, but it's not, talk to yourself, machazi yourself, listen, there's nothing wrong with having some money. I'm not saying that, but what's my real goal in life? What do I want to become? What am I certain? If a guy has a choice, let's say, right? Let's say maybe that's an Oscar meeting. I don't know. What would a guy answer? Rabbi will say, ask yourself the question. If someone asks you, I have a magic wand, and I can fulfill one of your wishes. You want to become like Bill Gates? You want to become a Moshe Feinstein? What would I say? I hope the answer is Moshe Feinstein. I'm not sure. It's a tough one. Think about it both. I'm not sure. You have a choice. With the wave of the wand, right? You can become whatever you want. Just tell me, and I'll grant your wish, right? Ask yourself that question. What would the answer be? Don't tell me. It's okay. You keep it to yourself. I have a hunch. A lot of us, if not all of us, or most of us, would say, I work on my ruchnius. Of course, I want to become a frum ben Torah. I want to become a shomer Shabbos, but do I want to become like the Avos? Is that what I really want? As such a potential, and not become Bill Gates? Okay, obviously, if you can become like the Avos and without any downside, so okay, it's pasha. I'll become like the Avos. Maybe that's more pasha. But this or that. Which one is it? What is my goal both? What's my greatest yearning in life? What's my overall, put on top of the page? When I used to be, I think it was in 7th grade, I had a science teacher. He used to walk into the class every day, and before the beginning of class, he put right on the blackboard, on the corner, aim, A-I-M with a line. What is the aim for today's class, right? To prove this, whatever it teaches, right? You have to have a goal. What is my aim in life for both sides? Am I focusing on becoming the most powerful, political, strong, popular, famous, wealthiest, strongest, whatever person in the world, right? Or do I want to become the biggest Talmud Chacham I can, become the biggest Baal Chesed I can, the biggest Baal Emes I can, the biggest Baal Yetzer Tov I can, the most control over my taivas. What do I want to do? What's my real goal on both sides? That's what it means. You can't be porish b'darcheihem. You have to. I'm on the right path. I'm on here. It says, here's the Rechov Sari Menu. I'm on that path, not on Rechov. Who knows? Some Porus, Pritzes, Prutza, right? That's where am I? What street am I on? What street am I walking down? You have to look at, make sure you got the right street sign. You have a choice. Which one is it? Both Hashem should help us. We should misspell for it. And your wording makes a tremendous difference. You guys are upholding the world, and besides fixing yourself, you're machazik the world and saving the world for who knows what. Nebuch, what type of viruses are out there? Right? Who knows? A lot of crazy viruses. If we're not careful, there's more viruses. But we have to massage. Our Torah is what's helping us out, and the striving for ruchnius, for perfection, for shleimus, is what makes all the difference in our personal lives, in our success in our lives. And what are we doing? What are we here for? What are we doing in our life? Both sides have a great day, and the shkef for coming. I hope Benny remembered to record it. If you didn't, don't tell me. Okay? Have a good one. Take care. Have a good day.